Yes, Mr. Rowett. Are we ready to carry on?
We are, Mr. Chairman.
Good, thank you. Right. Yes, when you're ready, Mr. Rowett.
Thank you. Mrs. Quang, thank you for coming back.
多謝你啊，鄺女士再返轉頭。
What I'm going to ask Madam Interpreter to explain to you now is that I'm going to ask you some questions about the night of the fire itself.
我會通過我嘅傳譯啦，我會即係問你關於一啲當晚發生嘅事情。
If I need to show you a statement, it will be your English language statement.
如果我要俾你睇你嘅證供嘅咧，就會係英文版本嘅證供。
So if at any time you want to see the translation, if that will help you, please tell us.
如果想睇中文嗰個版本嘅話咧，你可以同佢哋講就得㗎啦。
If I do show you the statement, I'm going to ask the interpreter just to translate those parts of the statement that I read out.
如果我係要你即係睇嘅話咧，咁我會通知你嘅即係翻譯員咯，就會即係讀出嚟嘅。如果我需要嘅時候。
And then to translate the question I ask.
同埋咧就翻譯我所問嘅問題。
And finally to translate back to us your answer in full.
最後咧就將你嘅即係答案咧再翻譯翻去俾佢哋聽。
Because you've already provided a detailed statement, I don't need to ask you about everything that's already in it.
因為你已經俾咗個好詳細嘅證供、嘅口供俾我哋啦，咁所以咧我哋唔會即係每一樣嘢都會問你嘅。
Can I ask to be put up on the screen then? IWS 5080. Sorry, 6080. IWS 6080. Page 15, please.
第15版嗰度，佢哋會喺個屏幕度出嚟啦。
Mrs. Quang, this is a plan of your flat.
鄺女士，呢個咧就係你個公寓嘅平面圖啦。
We can see that there's a bedroom marked 1.
你可以睇到即係1號嗰個咧，就係你其中一間房睡房。
Can you confirm that that was the bedroom that you were using on the night of the fire?
你可唔可以肯定俾我哋聽呢一間房1號嗰間咧，就係你當晚事發嘅時候用嘅睡房，瞓嘅睡房。
呢個根本就喺邊度我都。
So where is number one?
Not see number one.
I can't see.
係呢個。
Do you mean the one in the red?
One in the red, yes.
冇錯，就喺呢個紅色呢一度啦。呢一個係咪你當晚事發瞓嘅睡房咧？係。Yes.
And we can see next door there's a room marked 2, and 2 is circled in red.
隔離呢一個咧2號紅色有個紅色嘅框框住嘅。
係個2號房。
Yeah, that's the second bedroom.
And was that the bedroom that Van Quang Ho would use when he stayed?
當晚佢啦，你嘅前夫何生係咪喺呢度咧 ？Yes, he was staying there. Yes.
Is it right that your bedroom, number 1, was the closest to the front door?
你同唔同意咧？你個睡房係最接近個前門嘅咧？
係㗎，最接近嘅。
Yes, it was the closest.
We can see on that plan, next to the number 7 circled in red, is the number 31.
你睇到喺呢個平面圖裏邊有個7號嗰個咧，就係紅色7號嗰個字嗰個咧，就係即係等於31號。
And the plan says that that is a smoke alarm in your hallway.
呢個咧就係呢度咧就係話咧31號嗰度咧就係話咧你呢個通道嗰度咧 有一個火警鐘。
火警係啊，啱啊。
Yes, that's correct.
In your statement, you tell us that you were woken up by the noise of an alarm in the hallway. Was it the alarm that's marked 31?
喺你嘅證供上面咧，你提出話咧，你係即係俾個嗰個火警鐘嘈醒㗎，係唔係就係呢一個31號個火警鐘咧？Yes, that's the one.
我開門出嚟，佢停咗。
When I opened my door, it stopped.
Oh, before we get to opening the door, can I ask you this, Mrs. Quang? When you were woken up by the noise of that alarm, was there any smoke in your bedroom?
喺我哋問到關於即係你出房門之前咧，我想問多你一樣問題，就係你係聽到呢個警鐘響嘅時候咧，當時你間房裏邊有冇煙霧咧？
冇煙啊。
No, no smoke.
Do you remember if, before you had gone to bed that night, or when you went to bed that night, whether there were any windows in your flat that were left open?
你記唔記得你喺當晚瞓覺之前，你知唔知道咧？你嗰個公寓裏邊有冇一啲窗係打開咗嘅咧？
冇啊，冇打開窗啊，邊個窗都冇打開。
No, none of the windows were opened.
You've just told us that you stepped out into the hallway and the alarm stopped. Did you notice any smoke in the hallway?
你正話咧，你出嚟嗰個走廊嘅時候咧，嗰個火警鐘就停咗。當時你有冇發現到喺個走廊嗰度咧有啲煙霧咧？
冇啊，我行到個廚房度，個廚房嘅窗門度啊，嗰度我見啲火上咗一半個窗門啊。
No, I walked to the kitchen and I could see through the window of the kitchen that the fire was about halfway up at the window.
I'll come back to the kitchen in a moment.
我一陣再同你講關於廚房嗰度。
But staying with when you were in the hallway, we can see on the plan that your kitchen is marked with the number 4 in red with a circle around it.
你企翻喺個走廊嗰度咧，你嗰個廚房係唔係4號？即係我哋紅色嗰個4號嗰個咧
？And you can walk from your hallway to your kitchen, can't you?
你可以由你嘅走廊度一直行到個廚房嗰度㗎，係咪啊？
我唔行晒，我行一半到咋。
I walk about halfway down. I didn't walk complete. Half.
Do you remember if you had a door on your kitchen? Did your kitchen have a door?
你記唔記得你個廚房有個
廚房有門，係幾時都打開嘅。
There's always a door, but that's always opened.
When you came out into the hallway, did you switch any lights on in the hallway?
你出嚟個走廊嘅時候，係咪所有嘅燈你都開咗咧？即係你係咪開咗啲燈？
有開啊。
即係你開嘅啲燈。
係我開啊。
Yes, I turn on I switch on the lights.
And so was the hallway illuminated by a light?
係咪即係你個走廊係因為有燈而光亮咧？係光係因為你開咗盞燈。
係啊，我開咗燈，你係有燈啊。
Yes, I turned on the lights and there was light.
And you told us that you didn't go all the way into the kitchen, you walked about halfway towards it, is that right?
你話你冇就行到落去嗰個廚房嗰度，淨係行到一半度。
一半到啦，我見火啦。
Yes, I could see the fire, but I was just halfway down, walking towards the kitchen.
行翻個hallway轉頭。
Then I went backward. I went the other way.
We can see a number. There are different numbers on the plan. Can you use any number as a marker to tell us how close you got to the kitchen?
你睇到有好多唔同嘅號碼喺呢個平面圖上邊咯。你可唔可以話俾佢哋聽，你去到大概邊一個位置度咧？用個號碼嚟講。
由呢度我去到行到差唔多係18度啊，18、16嗰度啊，我企嗰度我嗌我着火燭。
I walked down to as far as about number 18, and then I stopped and said there was a fire.
I want to now show you a photograph which was taken of the inside of the tower after the fire. It's not distressing.
我想即係俾一幅圖畫，一個圖片俾你睇。呢個咧就係個火燭之後拍攝嘅，係關於你嗰個，希望唔會令到你引起太多嘅傷感。
And to explain, it's a photograph of a kitchen window in flat 13.
呢個咧就係第13號房嘅廚房嘅窗。
So, as I've said, Mr. Chairman, it's not a distressing image, it's one we've shown before, but could I have, please, BLAR 703 and then page 23 of that document? Thank you.
呢一幅圖片咧就令到你唔會有傷感嘅感覺嘅，咁就係呢一幅嘢咯。
有件火喺呢度。
Mrs. Quang, is this what your kitchen window looked like?
你個廚房嗰度窗係咪又係咁樣嘅咧？
係。
Yes.
In your kitchen, did you have anything in front of the window?
喺呢個廚房裏邊咧，喺個窗前邊有冇啲任何嘅嘢咧？
喺下低呢度啊，我有啲煲撐喺下低，同埋嗰個
pots and pans
嗰個台嗰度啊，個台呢度啊，我有個 microwave
即係呢個台。
邊。
So on the table in front of the window, there's a microwave oven.
In his statement, Van Quang Ho says there was a fridge in front of the kitchen window. Was there a fridge in front of the window?
何生嘅證供裏邊講咧，佢話咧，佢口供裏邊話咧喺嗰個窗前邊咧有一個雪櫃嘅喎，係咪有個雪櫃？係有個雪櫃，但係佢唔會去晒嘅，一啲到喺呢度有個雪櫃，一個 fit 嘅。There's a fridge, but the fridge was just touching the left side of the window. It wasn't in front of the window as such.
So, would it be right to say that the fridge didn't block very much of the window?
我哋係咪應該話即係嗰個雪櫃咧並唔阻擋到嗰個窗門嘅咧？如果你開一樣可以開到啊，但係唔會話，因為呢個窗門你開真好危險啊，所以我哋唔會開晒。一開你開少少，我多數開呢個，唔會開呢個嘅。Yeah, we could open the window from there. It won't be difficult, but because we hardly open the left window, we always open, if we need to, just the small window on the right, then we can open it.
You could open, is it right, you could open both windows, but you would open the one on the right if you needed to?
係咪即係通常咧？你如果要嘅話，你兩個窗都可以打開，但係通常你淨係開右手邊嗰個咧？通常我淨係開左邊一個右手呢邊呢個。即係要開兩個都可以開到。兩個都開到，但係我唔開左邊呢個，我冇開嘅。Yes, I can open both windows, but the left one I don't normally open, and I always just open the right-hand side window.
And just so that we can be sure, on that night, both the windows that we see in this image were closed, were they?
係咪當晚事發當晚咧，兩個窗都係閂埋嘅咧？係閂埋啊。Yeah, they were closed.
We can see in the top right-hand part of the photo, there's a fan unit. Did you have a fan unit in your kitchen window?
有啊，喺右上邊嗰度有呢個，有個風扇啊。但係嗰個跌咗落嚟啦。Yes, there were, but it fell down.
I'll come back to that in a moment.
我一陣再問你關於嗰度嚇。
Who had put that fan unit in?
係邊一個裝呢個風扇上去嘅咧
？Ryden 嗰啲人裝落去㗎。
Ryden
公司啊。
The company.
裝修個公司啊。
The refurbishment company.
Now, what Mrs. Quang, what you've told us is that you've told us you got to how far you got towards the kitchen, and that you could see flames behind the window. Were those flames behind both windows that we see?
你就話你去到即係個廚房前邊嘅時候咧，你睇到個廚房個窗出邊咧係有啲火嘅。呢啲火焰係咪去到即係咪喺呢一個窗嗰度？喺個大窗呢邊啦，我喺呢度，我行出嚟呢度，因為呢有個 bit 喺呢度啊嘛，我望到呢度個火上咗一半喺嗰度。I could see just past the bit of the fridge, behind on the left-hand big window. There was flame was about halfway up the window.
So just so that we've got it clear, the flames were outside the left-hand window as shown on the image and about halfway up.
我哋係唔係話即係 喺左邊呢個窗嗰度啊，嗰啲火焰大概去到一半咁上下高，你可以睇得到嘅係咪咧？
差唔多，我哋嚟到係到呢度啦，到呢度就如果你計埋呢度係未到一半嘅。
It's not quite halfway up, but it's just below where the handles are.
Thank you. Did you see if anything? I'll put that again. Did you see if anything had happened to the extractor fan?
你睇到即係嗰個呢個咁嘅抽氣扇有啲咩事發生咧？
抽氣扇嗰度，佢出邊有個殼係冚嗰個呢個風扇啦，佢嗰個殼跌落嚟，同埋佢係跌嗰個落嚟。咁我係見火係見嗰個跌咗落嚟啦。因為呢個佢同出邊兩個係出邊有一個，入邊一個兩個溝住落去嘅，但係入邊呢個跌咗落嚟嘅。
There's two sections of the extractor fan, one on the outside and one internally. The internal cover has fallen down.
And did that create any hole?
Any sorry?
Did that leave a hole that you could see through?
跌咗落嚟嗰度係咪顯得即係有個窿令到你睇得清楚嘅咧？
我見有個窿，係有佢，因為佢裝修入邊嗰度，佢嗰個殼即係冚上去啊嘛，佢嗰個殼跌落嚟啊，但係嗰個未跌嘅，出邊嗰個佢嗰個風扇喺嗰度。
No, the fan was still there. It was just the cover that fell down. The fan was still there.
Could you see if any smoke was coming through the window at this time?
你喺當時嚟講，你有冇見到啲煙霧喺出邊即係噴入嚟嘅 ？No.
Could you smell anything?
你聞唔聞到啲咩味道咧？
唔聞到啊！
No, I couldn't smell anything.
Were there any flames coming through the window at all?
有冇啲火焰係入得到嚟個窗，即係透過個窗入到嚟嘅咧？
根本當時我見嗰時，我見火嗰時，我已經心慌啊，所以我冇話再仔細嚟望佢，我就走翻轉頭我就嗌。
I panicked as soon as I see the fire, and then I just returned back and walked backwards.
What you've told us is that the front cover of the extractor fan had fallen off. Did you see what happened to that cover?
你話咧，你正話見到嗰個抽氣扇個蓋係跌咗落嚟嘅，你有冇見到個蓋發生啲咩事啊？
係見你跌落嚟咁樣啊！我有冇壞有冇成嗰啲我唔知啊，嗰個係膠嚟嘅。
I only saw that fell down. It's plastic, and I don't really know what happened to it.
You've just told us that you went back into the corridor. Was that when you were shouting fire, fire?
你行翻即係喺翻個走廊行翻轉頭嘅時候，你係咪當時就叫着火啦，火燭啊咁？
走翻落去近個走廊嗰陣時候，過個廚房門，我就嗌走房啊，嗌上嚟。
Yes, I just returned on or walked back the corridor, and I was calling fire, fire.
Can we have your plan back? So IWS 80, page 15, please. Was it only when you went back along the corridor that you realised that Van Quang Ho was staying in the flat that night?
你係咪走翻轉頭嘅時候先知道咧？阿何生其實當晚喺嗰度瞓嘅咧 ？Yes.
因為佢走出嚟啊嘛，佢聽我嗌火燭，佢走出嚟，我先知佢翻嚟。
When he heard that I was calling, there was a fire. Then that's when he came out. Then I knew that he was in the flat that night.
When you were walking back along the hallway, along the corridor, which is marked 7 in red, and circled in red on your plan, did you notice if there was any smoke in the corridor now?
你翻翻轉頭嘅時候，即係行翻呢個走廊行翻轉頭嘅時候咧，你當時有冇發現到個走廊度有啲煙霧嘅咧？
未啊，我未見，我未發現，因為我嗌佢嗰陣時候，佢。嗰個咩德河佢走出嚟，佢叫我打電話俾個大女。
No, I didn't see any smoke at the time. But I saw Mr. Ho. He asked me to ring my elder daughter.
And did you smell anything in the corridor at all?
你喺個走廊度聞到任何嘅味道咧？
聞唔到啊。
No, I couldn't.
In your statement, you tell us that you went back into your bedroom, which is marked 1, and you picked up your glasses and put on a jacket.
Yeah.
你話咧喺呢個證供度話，你入翻去你間房嗰度，着翻件褸，戴翻你嘅眼鏡，係咪啊 ？Yes.
Estimating time is difficult, but are you able to say at all how long you were in your bedroom for?
要估計要幾耐係好難嘅，但係你可唔可以大概諗一諗，你其實係留低喺嗰個睡房度有幾耐時間度咧？
我諗佢可能佢要留低會有1分鐘，我諗會有1分鐘，因為當時我見到嘅時候我已經心慌，我揸個眼鏡，我揸件衫嘅時期啊，我諗而家我唔知要做啲乜嘢啊。當時我諗喺嗰度啊。
I would imagine there's about a minute or so. I was quite panicky at that time, at that moment, and I was thinking to myself, what should I do next?
You tell us that what you then did was to open your bedroom door, and that's when you saw smoke in the flat hallway.
Sorry, can you say that again? The front door or the bedroom door?
I'll put it again. In your statement, you tell us that you opened your bedroom door and then saw smoke in the corridor.
Yeah.
And that was the corridor of your flat, wasn't it?
你喺呢個證供嗰度話咧，你打開你個睡房門嘅時候咧，其實你係睇到你嘅走廊度有啲煙嘅喎。
煙到睇唔見啦。
煙度睇唔見。Yes, I couldn't see, and I couldn't see my way then because the smoke was quite thick by that time.
What you say is that the whole area was black in your statement.
喺呢個證供上面話咧，你成個走廊都已經黑晒啦。
係啊，黑晒，睇唔見。
Yes, I couldn't see much.
If you put yourself standing at your bedroom door, can you remember if you could tell if the lights were still on in the hallway?
譬如你即係當你自己喺翻嗰個走廊嗰度嘅時候咧，你有冇見到啲燈咧？仲有冇見到燈光咧？
黑掹掹我都唔見邊度晒，我個房係有着燈啊。我房着燈，我個房係有燈啊。嗰個房門有燈啊，但係我出嚟嗰度，佢打開房門根本就黑晒，我都唔睇見咩晒。
I couldn't see any light, but there were lights in my room. I couldn't see any light in the corridor because it was so dark. It was so dark.
Were you able to see into the kitchen at all?
你可唔可以再睇得到個廚房？
我走翻廚房，我見黑，我就走咗。
No, I ran away because I saw this big thick smoke.
因為啊，Mr. Hall 佢叫我走，佢企喺度嗌我，叫我走。
Mr. Hall
我就打開個門嗰時，聽佢話佢走，我開個門我見有煙咁，我就走埋啦，我都冇諗咩晒。
Yeah, Mr. Ho asked me to move on to quickly run, so I did. I saw this thick smoke, then I decided to run.
You've described the smoke as thick and said you couldn't see anything. Could you see Mr. Ho?
你話當時嗰啲煙霧係好厚好黑嘅，你睇唔睇到何生？
我睇唔到佢，我都根本都唔見佢啊。
I couldn't see him.
但係佢企嘅位置，可能佢識我喺邊度，因為佢見我入個房，可能佢識，所以佢就掹到我件衫，我根本我就唔見咩晒。
I couldn't see him, but perhaps he knew where I was, so he just touched my clothes. He picked my clothes. That's all. I couldn't see him.
So you could hear him, and then you could feel him pull on your clothes.
你係睇，即係你聽得到佢。
感覺到佢掹我一下啫。
Yes, I felt he just picked on my clothes.
Who was the first to leave the flat, you or Mr. Ho?
係你走先啦，要話何生走先。
我跟尾。
He went first, and I followed him.
And when you followed him, do you remember what happened to your flat door?
你記唔記得你跟住佢之後咧，你個棟門係點樣㗎？
係開咗啦。
It was opened.
Do you know whether after you'd gone through it, it was left open or did it close?
你記唔記得你出咗去之後，嗰道門仲係開住啊，依係閂翻嘅咧？
我都唔知佢有冇開閂，我都唔知。我哋係咁啊行啊。
I can't remember. I don't know whether it was open or closed. I just went. I didn't close the door. I didn't close the door.
And I think if we just can you confirm this, please, Mrs. Quang? This wasn't the door at that time wasn't one that would close by itself, was it?
係咪呢一道門咧？就係即係佢哋唔會自動閂嘅門啊？
咁又唔係啊！如果係有風啊，如果係 廚房度啊，嗰啲窗門又打開啊，佢道門會閂㗎，因為有風，佢啲力都會閂個門㗎。
If the window in the kitchen was open, then there may be draft that pull the door shut. That would be the occasion when it is shut by itself.
But on normal days, if you were going out of your flat, would you have to close the door after you, or would it close by itself after you?
即係講平日咁計咧，如果你出門嘅時候咧，你係咪要自己拉埋道門佢先至會閂嘅咧？
自己要拉埋，自己拉。
Yes, I have to close the door. 即係佢自己唔會閂埋㗎。
When you came out after you now left your flat and you're in the communal area, what were the conditions like in the communal area?
嗱，你而家你出到個公共走廊嗰度啊，當時嘅情況係點樣嘅咧？
黑掹掹睇唔見。
It's very dark. I couldn't see anything.
喺嗰度不嬲都有燈。
There's always a light there.
唔見咩晒。
I couldn't see anything.
You've just said that there's always a light there. Does that mean in your experience, whatever time of night it is, there's always a light on in the communal area?
係咪喺公共走廊嗰度咧？即係任何時候都會有盞燈。
等電梯嗰度有等電梯嗰度幾時都會有電喺嗰度，有電燈。
Yes, there's always light there where the lift were.
What you say in your statement is that the communal area was full of smoke. Do you think that you couldn't see any light because it wasn't on, or because of the smoke blocking the light?
喺你嘅證供嗰度咧，你話係嗰度就好濃嘅黑煙，令到你睇唔到。你覺得係啲煙遮住嗰盞燈，令你睇唔到啊？抑或係冇盞燈嘅咧根本？
我等係黑煙遮㗎，因為如果你有燈咧，如果唔係黑煙遮，你有燈入邊你見㗎。所以而家黑煙遮啫，根本你就睇唔到。我話係認為係黑煙遮嘅。
I believe it was the thick smoke that covered the light. If the light were on, then I should be able to see it, but I couldn't see the light then.
Could you see Van Quang Ho?
有冇睇到啊，何生？
唔睇到佢啊。
No, I couldn't see him.
His recollection in his statement is that he didn't see any smoke in the communal area when you both left the flat. Are you clear in your mind that there was smoke when you left?
喺阿何生個證供嗰度咧，佢就話咧，佢離開嘅時候咧，就係冇見到個公共走廊度有任何嘅煙霧㗎。你覺得你自己嗰個記憶裏邊係咪真係有煙霧咧？
係有煙㗎，我記得㗎，係有煙。
I remember there was smoke.
係有煙㗎嗰度。
There was smoke there.
Mr. Ho also recalls that there were 2 or 3 firemen in the communal area on your floor. Do you remember seeing firemen in the communal area on your floor?
何生嘅口供裏邊咧，亦都話記得咧，又見到有3個救火員喺你嗰一層嗰度嘅。你當時有冇見到呢3位嘅救火員咧？
我見一個，後尾又再見一個，即係佢總共2個啫，我都冇見3個。
I saw one and then another one after that, so total 2, not 3.
But was that in the communal area where the lifts were, or afterwards?
Because he went first, so I'm not sure how many he saw.
But is your recollection of seeing firemen one of firemen in the stairs or on your communal landing?
你記憶之中，你覺得你見嗰啲救火員咧係喺你嗰個公共走廊嗰度啊，抑或喺個樓梯嗰度？
喺樓梯度。
In the stairs.
Mrs. Quang, I'll come back to those firemen in a moment, if I may.
一陣我先再講關於即係再問關於個救火員嗰啲人嗰啲事。
We look at a different plan which you have annexed to your statement. We have
睇過另外一個平面圖啦。
IWS 80 page 14.
第14版呢個平面圖。
This is the plan of your floor.
呢個咧就係你整層嘅。
So flat 76 is in the top right-hand corner.
76號嗰間屋咧就喺右上角嗰度。
And we can see the lifts and the stairs marked.
嗰個 OK，呢個咧就係嗰個
係個
電
lift，個電梯兩個
梯同埋樓梯。
個樓梯隔離就倒垃圾房。
Next to the stairs were the refuse room,
The rabbit room。
the rubbish room.
Let's just take you back to the night itself. You've come out into the communal area. How did you find your way to the stairwell door?
我哋講翻當晚事發嘅時候咧，你出嚟嘅時候咧，你點樣揾得到嗰條樓梯嘅咧？
因為喺我個門度，我出嚟嗰條路，我係識個方向，我喺呢度一路行到去呢個樓梯嗰個門度啊，就係呢度河佢已經開咗個門啦。我到嗰度，我見個門開咗，有燈喺嗰度。
I know my way. I just came straight down to where the door was, which was open. It was left open, and I know where the stairs was.
And was Van Quang Ho ahead of you when you went through the door into the stairs?
你行出嚟入去通過呢條門嘅時候咧，阿何生係咪喺你前邊啊？
係喺我前邊，佢行先㗎。佢喺我前面開呢個門，我睇到有個樓嗰個燈嗰度，我知道嗰個係門，我跟住落去。
Yes, he went first, and he opened the door, and I could see the light at the stairs, so I just followed him.
And the door that was to the stairs, do you remember it closing behind you once you got onto the stairs?
你記唔記得你一落咗樓梯嘅時候咧，嗰道門就自動閂埋咧？
係啊，樓梯個門好重㗎。
Yes, it was a heavy door. 係自動閂咗。
And you remember it closing after you'd gone through, do you?
即係佢自動閂嘅。
係閂㗎。
Yes, it closed.
Now, before I ask you about the stairs, I want to ask you about a detail in your statement.
問你嗰個樓梯嘅事之前咧，我想問一問關於你個證供裏邊有啲詳細嘅資料。
In your statement, you say this: I did not hear any fans as I was leaving, and I did not hear the fire.
喺呢個證供上面咧，你話咧，我聽唔到任何嘅風扇嘅聲，亦都睇唔到任何嘅火。
係啊，唔見火，冇風，冇風扇啊。
No, I couldn't hear the fan or see the fire.
Would you expect to hear the sound of fans normally in the communal area?
一般喺個公共嘅走廊嗰度，你會唔會係應該聽到啲風扇聲，或者即係啦？你會唔會聽到咧？即係你會平時會有嘅聲啊？係咪應該？
冇啊，
No
冇聲。
No sound.
So normally when you were going back, leaving your home and coming back at night, would you hear any sounds in the communal area?
平時如果你出入嘅時候，你翻去你自己個屋企嘅時候咧，你係平時喺個公共走廊嗰度咧係冇任何嘅聲㗎。
冇聲啊，好似隔離鄰舍人哋煲飯聞到啲飯啊，聞到人哋煲飯啲味嘢嗰啲係有。
No sound, but I could smell if someone is cooking in the kitchen, cooking rice or something. I could smell that, but no sound.
In your statement, you tell us that when you got into the stairs, and that we can see them marked on this plan, that there was no smoke in the stairwell.
喺呢一度咧，你話咧呢度係冇煙嘅，係咪咧？
嗰個嗰度行樓梯度係冇煙㗎。
Yeah, there's no smoke in the stairs. In the stairs where I was going down.
有燈添。
There was light as well.
And was that the same all the way down as you went down the stairs?
係咪由頭到尾
由頭到尾一路有燈冇煙。
Yes, there was light and there was no smoke all the way through.
Did you feel the movement of air on your face at all as you were standing in the stairwell?
企個樓梯，你喺樓梯嘅時候咧，你有冇覺得有啲即係風喺你個面度吹過㗎？
冇。
No.
What you tell us in your statement is that you saw a firefighter on the 9th floor and a firefighter on the 8th floor.
Yeah.
Is it still your memory that you saw 2 firefighters in the stairwell?
你話喺個樓梯度，即係你證供嗰度話
一個上嚟，
同埋8樓。
我哋落咗 cap 樓嘅時候，佢哋上嚟，見到佢哋望我哋，佢又上，我哋又落，再落添，又見第二個。
Yes, I saw the first fireman as we went down one floor, and then we went down, continued to go down, and he went up. We went down again, saw another firefighter. We continued.
嗰個咧就叫我哋高 down。
That second fireman asked us to go down.
Can we go to your this part of your statement, please?
我哋再去翻你個證供嗰度啦。
If we go to IWS 80, page 8, please, and if we could have page 8 and page 9 next to each other. If we look at paragraph 35 at the bottom of page 8, please.
第35段喺下低呢度。
Just want to clear up something you said to us a few minutes ago, Mrs. Quang.
再諗翻正話你所講嘅嘢啦。
First question is, you've got 2 firefighters. How did you identify the floors that they were on?
嗱，你總共見咗2個救火員㗎，你點知道嗰度係第幾層咧？
因為我哋落嗰啲樓梯咧，你落一個到嗰個就係一層，落2個轉一個彎就一層。
When we went down the stairwell, once, twice, then there's 1 floor.
And that's where you saw the first fireman. Did you notice where he was going? Was he going further up the stairs?
你當時係咪見到佢即係上緊去上邊嘅？
佢係上啊，我哋落去上，我哋冇望佢添，我知佢上，我哋照落。
Yes, we saw him going up and we just continued going down.
Did you notice whether that firefighter went into a particular floor?
你知唔知嗰個救火員去邊一層咧？
唔知。
No, I don't know.
The firefighter you describe as being on the 8th floor and telling you to go down. Can you remember what that firefighter was doing?
你話喺即係再下低剩即係8樓嘅時候，你見到個救火員咧就叫你繼續落去嘅。你知唔知佢當時做緊啲乜嘢咧？
佢係上去，我都唔知佢做乜，佢都冇做，佢係咁上去。可能我諗佢或者佢上去檢查點樣，佢冇揸嘢上去，佢咁上去查啫嘛。
He wasn't carrying anything. I assume that he just went up to investigate, to look at something. So.
Can we look then at page 9 of your statement in paragraph 36, please?
喺第36段第9版，你嘅證供裏邊咧
36。
If we expand paragraph 36, please.
第36版嗰度咧，你話你戴咗你個眼鏡，但係就冇戴。
眼鏡係
你戴咗嗰個
睇住嗰個眼鏡㗎。
睇書嗰個眼鏡就冇戴到個遠視鏡。
眼鏡冇戴。
So, if Madam Interpreter, if you could just interpret this part, I'm going to summarise the statement for Mrs. Quang.
Okay.
Mrs. Quang, in this part of your statement.
Sorry, do you want me to translate first?
Well, if you could just explain to.
Just translate whatever Mr. Rowett says.
Yes, please.
Please.
Okay, sorry, can you start again?
I'll start
please?
again, if that's all right.
Yeah.
Mrs. Quang, I'm going to summarise a part of this statement for you.
我會將呢一段咧，就將佢即係總結一下。
In this paragraph, you describe coming across a woman wearing a hijab who was with her son and her baby.
你話咧喺呢一段咧，你話咧你會即係去到一半嘅時候咧，你見到一位女士着住件即係嗰件包頭嘅長袍，就抱住個細路仔嘅，係咪？
有一個仔添。
Yes, with a baby.
Was this woman and her son walking side by side down the staircase?
佢哋落嘅時候咪一齊
唔係啊，佢個仔跟佢後邊啊，我喺佢個仔後邊。
The son was following her, and I was behind the son.
And what was the reason why you could not get past them?
點解你覺得即係你唔可以即係超越佢哋落去咧？
因為佢第一係女人同埋細佬哥，我哋即係如果我哋係咁超越佢，咁我哋形成我哋都冇禮貌。
Because she's a woman and she has a baby with her and a son, I felt impolite to overtake her.
aside from the two firefighters you described earlier, were these the first people that you met on the stairs as you were going down?
除咗嗰兩位即係救火員之外，係咪佢哋就係唯一嘅人你見到咧？即係你樓梯嗰度唯一嘅人。
我見到佢兩個，然後見呢個女人，其他我乜嘢人都唔見。
Yes, I saw them, and that's all. Apart from the two firefighters and this woman, I didn't see anybody else.
Was it quite noisy in the stairwell?
喺個樓梯度係咪好嘈咧？
好靜啊！
Very quiet.
And could you see Van Quang Ho as you came down the stairs?
唔
你有冇見到何生
佢都唔知走幾時，我都唔識啊。
？No, I don't know where he went. I don't know
And
where
so
he went.
was the first time that you saw him next, was that outside the
到
tower?
第二個救火
係咪
員，
你即係你第一次再見翻佢嘅時候咧，佢已經係喺出邊㗎啦，已經。
係啊，佢喺出邊啊，
即係嗰個大廈嘅出邊。
喺出邊嗰個草鋪嗰邊啊。
Yes, he was near the grass outside the tower.
近嗰個sport centre 嗰邊去。
Near the sports centre.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, those are all the questions I have, and it's also an appropriate time anyway to give Mrs. Quang a break. So could I ask for a short break whilst I consult with others to see if there is any supplementary question that I
Yes.
need to put?
我哋
Well, Mrs.
暫時有
Quang,
咁多嘅問題，我哋要暫時停一停，然後我再問一問其他人有冇其他問題，然後先再翻嚟。
Mr. Rowett thinks he's finished the questions he wants to ask you, but he needs a moment to consider that.
你嘅律師已經問晒佢要問嘅嘢，但係佢要考慮一下要有啲咩嘢再講。
So we're going to have a short break.
我哋有一個短嘅即係一個短暫嘅休息。
Please don't talk to anyone about your evidence while you're outside the room.
離開呢個堂之後咧，你唔好再同任何人講關於你嘅證供。
And if you'd like to go with the usher, we'll come back at 10 to 3. That'll be long enough, won't it, Mr. Rowett?
我哋
Come back
兩
at
點
10 to
十
3.
2點10個字再翻嚟呢度，好嘛？我哋跟個邊個人走先。
Thank you very much. Right, 10 to 3 then, please. Thank you. Yes, Mr. Rawat.
A very few additional matters,
Yes, of
Mr.
course.
Chairman.
All right, thank you. Well, Mrs. Quang, just a few more questions, I think.
仲有幾條問題，何女士。
Yes, Mr. Rawat?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, Mrs. Quang. Could we have, please, up on the screen, IWS 80, page 7, please? And if we could expand paragraph 28.
喺第7版嘅第28段，而家喺度。
決定。
Mrs. Quang, I'm going to read out to you the last sentence of paragraph 28, and I'll ask that that be translated to you.
我會讀出第28段嘅最後嗰一句句子，同埋咧，我會即係翻譯俾你聽。
That sentence says, I saw that parts of the extraction fan in the kitchen had fallen off from the top right-hand side of the window because of the fire.
呢度咧，你話咧，我見到嗰個抽氣扇喺廚房呢邊嘅抽氣扇有一部分喺個右上角個窗嗰度，個抽氣扇咧有一部分係跌咗落嚟，因為嗰個火而跌咗落嚟嘅。
And my question is this. Why do you say because of the fire at the end of that sentence?
我想問你嘅問題咧，就係點解你話因為係火嘅原因，所以嗰個部分會跌落嚟咧？
因為我見個窗門有火啊！
Because I could see the frame through the window.
我見個窗門有火，如果係冇火，佢嗰度有火，嗰啲係膠嚟㗎。有時熱啊或者點樣，佢嗰度嗰條佢都會跌落嚟嘅。
Because it was made of plastic, so I assume that the fire would have caused it to fall down.
Can I now put up on the screen, please, INQ 50406 and page 2, please.
第幾頁？我第2版。
It's not in the bundle. Could I have the next page? Thank you. If you look on the right-hand side of the image as we look at it, Mrs. Quang, there are a series of pictures of smoke.
如果我哋睇呢度嘅時候，你會睇到有一系列嘅圖片啦，係形容一啲火嘅。
And there are letters in the middle between, in brackets. Can you see those?
你睇唔睇到呢一啲中間裏邊嗰啲英文字啊？
You told us earlier that there was smoke in the communal area when you left your flat.
你正話曾經講過話咧，你離開你嗰個公寓嗰陣時候咧，你見到嗰個公共走廊嗰度咧，有好多嘅濃煙。
Using those letters, can you identify the picture that best describes the smoke that you encountered in the communal area?
你可唔可以用呢啲英文字母嚟講出嚟，形容得最貼切你嗰個煙嘅係邊一個咧？
我睇係最尾嗰個。
The last one. The last one.
And can I confirm that that's image E on
係咪
the smoke descriptor?
係咪即係 E 嗰個咧？
個 E 個濃煙就係個 E 嘅。
Yeah, the
如果
smoke
個火
was
唔係個 E 個火嚇。
but not the fire.
No, it's just the smoke that we're asking you about.
淨係我哋問嘅淨係煙啫。
Well, thank you for that. I've got one last question for you, Mrs. Quang.
鄺女士，我仲有最後一個問題啦。
Putting aside what's in your witness statement and the answers that you've given to me today, is there anything else that you saw or heard on the night of the fire that you want to, or that you think it's important to tell the chairman about?
我哋放低今日嘅證供同埋今日即係證供同埋你今日講嘅口供，除咗即係呢啲之外咧，有啲咩嘢你係想再同我哋嘅法官講嘅咧？
你講呢個。
Can I tell you a statement?
Sorry, I didn't.
Can I give you a statement?
Yes, all right.
你讀出嚟可以。
讀出嚟你自己講啦。
So I'll translate it for them.
我個問題就係很多人想知道嘅真相事實，係需要有個公理，而我都唔例外，亦想知道原因為何我住嗰間高樓會有如此嚴重嘅火災事件發生。
Without exception, my question is the same as everyone's. I want to know why there was this serious fire in the tower that I live in. I want to know the truth and the facts of what happened.
根據我所知道，有72人死亡，4隻狗1隻貓，係被冤枉死嘅，死得好痛苦恐怖。
I understand that there were 72 people died, plus 4 dogs and a cat. They died unjustly, and they suffered terrible death.
這些居民同貓狗係有寶貴嘅生命嘅，但突然被火災以奪走佢嘅生命，真是殘忍。
The residents and the dogs and the cats have life of worth and value. The ending of such precious life was sudden and brutal. The fire has made the tower. Sorry, she hasn't said that yet.
我這座高樓變成一個火化爐啊！
The tower has become a crematorium.
仲有其他居民能夠逃離呢個火場而感到心慌、恐怖、精神被壓力、體康有問題、呼吸有問題。
The surviving residents and the bereaved suffered from stress, health issues, and breathing problems. They felt terrified and scared.
最後，我唔想再有第二個 Grenfell 出現，更希望政府修改，以安全放在第一位。
Lastly, I do not want another Grenfell Tower to happen again. So I want the government to change and put safety as the number one priority.
Mrs. Quang, thank you once again for coming to give evidence. Thank you.
謝謝，多謝。
Thank you.
And I add my own thanks to you for coming to give your evidence. It's important to us. I'm sorry, translate my first sentence.
我想即係講關於有關你嘅證供嘅問題咯。我哋
It's very important for us to understand what was going on inside the tower during the fire.
我哋好需要知道究竟當日即係發生緊啲咩事喺個火災場現場。
同埋我想補充一度啊，
I
點解
want to
我
supplement this.
點解我聞唔到煙味、聞唔到咩晒？因為我鼻入邊啊全部黑嘢擋住晒個鼻。
I believe that I couldn't smell anything because my nose was blocked.
我去到我個女嗰度，我去我女嗰度阿鋪間屋嗰度啊，然後我有啲好似想流鼻涕，我用個黐線，我生鼻涕，我先知道原來我鼻咁黑㗎，黑到好緊要。
When I was safely in my daughter's home, when I blew my nose, I realized that my nose was the discharge was completely black. I saw the seriousness then.
All right, well, thank you very much for giving us your evidence. It's very helpful to us, and we're very grateful to you for coming along to do that.
多謝你即係今日嚟出席嚟，即係俾呢啲證供俾我哋，係非常之有用嘅對我哋嚟講。
And now you're free to go.
你而家可以走啦。
So if you go with the usher, she'll look after you.
佢
Thank you very much. Thank you, Madam Interpreter. Yes, Mr. Rowett. No.
Our next witness, I think, is ready, and will be. If I could hand over to Ms. Sivakumaran and ask him questions.
Yes, very well. Thank you. Yes.
I'm grateful, Mr. Chairman, if we may now call our next witness, Mr. Atmani.
Good. Thank you very much.
I swear by Allah
I swear by Allah
that the evidence I shall give
that the evidence I should give
shall be the truth,
shall be the truth,
the whole truth,
the whole truth,
and nothing but the truth.
nothing but the truth.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Atmani. Right. That's it. Make yourself comfortable.
Thank you.
All right. Yes, Ms. Sivakumaran.
Mr. Atmani, can you confirm your full name for the inquiry, please?
Sid Ali Atmani.
Firstly, I'd like to thank you for coming here today to give evidence to the inquiry. As you'll be aware, the majority of my questions will be about the night of the fire and what took place on the 14th of June. We appreciate it will be difficult to go back. It will be very difficult to relive the events of that night. I would ask you, if you need a break at any point, please say so.
Thank you.
My questions will be short, and I'm hoping they'll also are intended to be straightforward. If I do ask any questions that you find difficult or you do not fully understand, please let me know and I'll ask it in a different way.
Yes, sure.
Finally, the first thing that we need to do is to put your statement to the inquiry into the record. Now, if we may have IWS 70, page 1. This is the first page of your statement. Now, you'll see that's on the screen to your right.
Yes,
and
I
you
do.
will also see, if you want a paper copy, there's a bundle in front of you on the table, and you'll find your statement at tab 1 of that bundle.
Sure.
Now, if we can turn to the last page of your statement, that's page 13. You'll see there's a statement of truth that is dated the 18th of April 2018, and there's a signature above the date. Is that your signature?
Yes, indeed.
Now, have you had an opportunity to read your statement recently?
Yes, I did.
And can you confirm that the contents of this statement are true?
Yes, indeed. It's true.
Can I confirm for the record that there are no exhibits to the statement?
Right, thank you.
And if that may be admitted. Now, Mr. Atmani, turning firstly to the background, we've heard evidence from your ex-wife, Ms. Rashida Ali, this morning, and she's told the chairman that as of June 2017, you were living in flat 125 on the 15th floor of Grenfell Tower with her and your daughter. Is that correct?
It's correct.
Now, Ms. Ali has given evidence already about the condition of the flat this morning. I'm not going to go over the same detail that she's given.
Sure.
However, I do have a few additional questions for you that I want to explore before we turn to the events of the 14th of June 2017.
Sure.
Now, firstly, can the witness be shown INQ 93? This is a photo of, taken by one of the inquiry's experts after the fire of a sign that was in Grenfell Towers. Have you seen the sign before?
Yes, I did.
And where did you see the sign?
It was by the lift, the 15th in my floor, 15th floor, and it was in the ground floor.
And
by
on the
lift.
ground floor?
Yes, indeed.
And did you see that sign anywhere else on the tower?
No.
When did you first see this sign?
It was, I remember exactly the time when they finished the refurbishment. And afterward, about a few months afterward, they put the sign, which is I noticed when I was coming up from the lift. And I remember that day, my daughter, she was with me. And I said to her, look, they put something on the lift. Because the lift used to be broke all the time. So when they put that, I noticed that sign.
Do you remember what year this was?
It was 2017.
2017?
Yes, indeed.
And do you remember how long before the fire you saw it?
No, I don't. Sorry.
When you saw the sign, what did you understand it to mean?
It's fire safety measure. That the understanding is for the safety of yourself. If you notice any fire or smoke, it's a stay put policy basically.
And what do you understand that to mean?
For me, I don't have any understanding for that because I never agree with it. Because I had a courses with when I used to be a management. I used to be a manager in Sainsbury, so I had a lot of courses regarding safety and the building safety. So I was always against it because I had an event in Sainsbury, our local Sainsbury's. It was about 11 o'clock in the morning, and we had a smoke from the ground floor. So I just get the people out, and this is what I study for. So I get all the customer out. In the building regulation is different. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't really believe in that policy. I never apply it to be sharp.
So Mr. Atmani, you've told us several things there. If I can just break that down somewhat. You've mentioned that you had training as a manager at Sainsbury's.
Yeah, indeed.
In that training, what were you advised to do?
The advice in our training, in our courses, the advice is to make sure the customers, they are saved and evacuate. And after that, the second stage is to evacuate all the staff members.
Right.
And make sure you call the emergency on the spot. And you've got a point when you take all the staff with your members and the book and the safety measure. So you go there and you contact your emergency fire services.
Right, so your understanding through work was if there was a fire, you should evacuate the building?
Yes, indeed. That's a business regulation.
Right. And you've mentioned that there was a previous fire where there's smoke seen on the ground floor.
Yes, indeed. It wasn't a fire, it was a smoke, it was a gas related to a fridges, has blew up, and it created a smoke, and that's the reason why we have evacuated. It's around about 10 o'clock, 11, around that.
Okay. Just so that we're clear, Mr. Atmani, was that smoke that was seen at your premises at work or
At work, yes, indeed, at work.
Okay, and that's an occasion when you had to evacuate at work?
Yeah, indeed. Just to give you an example.
Okay, I understand. That's quite clear now. And in relation to what you understood at Grenfell Tower, did you understand that from this sign that was different advice from what you knew?
Indeed, yes, it's different.
And when did you understand that you were meant to stay put from this sign?
The understanding is, for me, my action is, if anything happened, I need to run. That's all. This is my answer, to be clear. So I never applied that policy. I never thought about it. I never give attention to it.
Right. So just so that we're clear, you were aware of this policy, but you didn't intend to follow it?
No.
Right, and that's what your understanding was as of
Yes,
June
indeed.
2017?
Yes, indeed.
Thank you, that's very clear, Mr. Atmani. Now, within your flat, 125, is it correct that you had smoke alarms?
Yes, indeed.
And do you know if they were working?
Yes.
How did you know that they were working?
I remember it was a Saturday, around 2 o'clock. I was at home, and someone knocked the door. I believe I opened the door, and a gentleman came in. He said, "I'm here to test for the fire detector. My wife and my daughter, they was there, and we haven't had conversation, honestly. We didn't even. He's here, as I thought, is a usual check-in, and so he did. He checked it, and then he went out.
Right. Now, you said this was Saturday. Which Saturday was
It was a
this?
Saturday. The fire happened on Wednesday, the
Yes.
14th, and the Saturday, it means it's 3 days before.
Okay, so Saturday before the fire.
Yes, indeed.
And the man that came to the door, did he say who he was working for?
No,
And you've said that he checked the alarms. Which alarm did he check?
it was the corridor.
Sorry, the corridor.
The corridor, yeah.
Did he check any other alarms?
No,
Did he ask you to sign anything?
no,
And did he give you any other advice about what to do in a fire?
no.
Mr. Atmani, I'd now like to turn to the events of the night of 13 and 14 June. Now, if I can take you to page 3 of your statement, and that's paragraph 15. Now, you've said in this paragraph that in the run-up to the 14th of June, you were very unwell at the time of the fire,
Yes, indeed.
and your illness was aggravated as you have emphysema.
Yes, indeed.
That's correct. So you weren't very well,
Yes, indeed.
and because of that, you were sleeping in another room from Miss Ali and your daughter, and this is at paragraph 19 of your statement. Is that correct?
Yes, it's correct.
Now, on the night of 13th to 14th June, is it correct that Miss Ali came to wake you up and tell you that she'd smelt smoke?
Yes, she did.
And what was your reaction when she told you that?
I remember that day I said to her, "It's nothing to worry about. Maybe there is a bin downstairs, or you don't need to worry." That's my word.
Did you smell any smoke at that stage?
No,
And did you look out the window when she first woke you
no.
up? Now, if we can turn to page 4, paragraph 20 of your statement. In this paragraph, you said that Miss Ali Rashida told you that she was going to check and she left the bedroom. You heard her walking to the front door and walking out to the corridor, and then she's come back and told you that someone else has reported there was a fire to her. Is that that's your recollection of that conversation, is that right?
She said, if I can remember to be precise, what she said, she found two ladies on the stairs, and she said he was talking about smoke. And she was really worried and concerned. That's when she came back to me. And then I believe she said, there is something wrong with the building, we need to get out. I said to her, I'm not going nowhere. That's my answer. You want the whole thing, or you have another question?
Just your recollection, Mr.
Continue?
Atmani.
Yeah, sure. And she said, I know you will go and come back. I can't, the word I said, the first word I said, I can't go nowhere. I'm not going nowhere. I was tired, I was exhausted. She said, I help you. I carry you. I said, I cannot even walk. That's, I think, if I'm to be sure that my word, the exact word, that's what I said. And she said, I'm taking my daughter with me. I said, I know you will go and come back. There's nothing wrong.
Now, Mr. Atmani, at that point, why did you refuse to go with Miss Ali?
I was very ill. I never been in that with that illness, kind of very tired, very exhausted. Was sweating a lot and feeling cold and very hot. I was very confused in my mind. I didn't thought it would be that situation. I know my wife. She always telling me things. She feel things, and I always ignore. I know that. But in that moment, I was really, really exhausted. I was really, really ill. I couldn't even walk to the bathroom. She helped me to go to the bathroom. And I didn't even believe there is something going on outside. So in my mind, we are safe. So that's why my response to her is, I know you go in and come back. And I stayed behind.
Right. And when you stayed behind and she first left, did you notice then at any point the smell of smoke? in
No,
the
I
flat?
didn't. I didn't. No.
And did you notice, and did you look out the window on that occasion?
No, when they left, somehow I went back to sleep. I fell asleep. I don't know how, and just I was knocked away.
And did you stay asleep?
Yeah, I was sleeping. I went back to
Okay.
sleep.
Now, at paragraph 21, this is the following paragraph. You say that you were woken up from your sleep.
Yeah.
You believe this was from hearing a popping sound at the window. And it's then that you opened your eyes and you stood up. How long do you believe that you're sleeping for at that stage?
To be honest with you, I haven't got timing, but it feels to me it's like it was so long, because when I wake up, I was like, you know, when you wake up, sometimes you feel like you slept so long, and before you sleep, you had a conversation you had in your mind. Then when you wake up, you get surprised, and when I wake up, I thought and I believe that sound from outside wake me up. It could be not. It could be that sound. But that moment, I was quite surprised when I wake up. So when I wake up, I stood up. When I stood up, I looked behind me because where I was sleeping is the window behind my head. So I waked up and I looked out through the window. That's the moment.
Right, now, Mr. Ali, how loud was that sound, the popping sound that you could hear?
It wasn't very loud. It wasn't very loud, but you can hear. It's not something you cannot hear properly, but you can hear. It does get your attention, that sound.
Okay. And you said, and was the sound coming from the window then?
Yes, indeed.
You also describe later on with that paragraph that I could hear a sound of crackling.
Yes, indeed.
Was that a separate sound from the popping?
The crackling is is the same. It's the same. It's the same thing.
It's the same sound
Yeah,
that
it's
you're
the same
describing
sound.
there.
Yeah.
And could you tell what was making the sound then, the popping and crackling sound?
In that moment, I couldn't find out. I couldn't describe it with myself. And so when I looked at the window, I saw like a smoke the other side, and I saw a flame underneath, not underneath of my window. It's like going from the right side of the building. Then going like the smoke was going up, and you can see the reflection of the flame. That's exactly what I did saw.
So breaking that down, you've mentioned the smoke and seeing a reflection of the flame. Could you see exactly where the smoke was coming from?
It was the right side.
Right side?
Yeah.
But could you see the source of the smoke, or could you only see the smoke?
The source, I couldn't see it.
Okay. And the reflection of the flames, where did you see that reflection exactly?
Going to the middle of the building. So I'm in 15th floor, going underneath of the 14th floor or 13, I'm not sure. But it was just, a moment for me. I didn't focus, I didn't stay there. It was just a moment for me when I saw that. And then I just come back to myself and went out from my room. Because in that moment, my wife and my daughter, they're not there. So that's the moment for me. That's the moment where I was a little bit lost.
Lost. And where did you go from your room then?
From my room, I went out. I went to the living room. I went to the window, and I opened the window, just pull it up, pull the window, and I saw the same thing, but not exactly in the same situation with the smoke or the fire, like the middle room. But it's the same direction, coming from the same direction.
But it was a further window that you're looking out
Yes,
of?
indeed.
If the witness can be shown IWS 3, page 16. It's IWS 703, page 16. Right, now this is a floor plan of your flat 125. You could see at the far end what appears to be a bedroom, and there'll be 2 bedrooms at the end and then a sitting room. Is that correct? Now,
Yes, it's
can you indicate which room you were in when you woke up?
You want me to?
Yes, if you
If
could
you
stand
want
up
to
and
stand up
Yep.
and show us all.
This is the middle room. I was sleeping here.
And is it
That's the
correct?
window behind.
That's the window you first
Yes.
looked out of. Now, you've described going to the living room and looking out of another window. Which window did you go to then?
I went out from this door, through the corridor, this door to the sitting room, and I went to this window.
So for the record, the witness is indicating the living room window next to the second bedroom.
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
Thank you.
Wait,
Thank you.
if you could have a seat, please, Mr. Armani. Was the bedroom window open when you looked out of it?
Where I was sleeping.
Where you were sleeping?
Yeah, it was. My wife, she opened it up. She opened the window.
She opened the window.
Yeah, she did.
And was there any smoke coming into it?
No, I haven't noticed any smoke.
Okay. And the next window that you looked out of, the living room window, was that open when you
Yes,
looked out?
I believe it was quite a little bit open. I believe so, yeah. I can't remember exact, but I think it was open. It wasn't
Okay.
hard for me to open it.
Okay. And again, did you notice any signs of smoke?
No, it
coming
wasn't
through?
smoke.
Now, from the living room window, if we can take you to page 5 of your statement, paragraph 24.
Yeah, sure.
You say after checking the living room windows and the bedroom windows, you then went to the main door. I opened the door. I would estimate that from waking to opening the front door was not more than 5 minutes, no more than that. And I could not believe what was happening. It was pitch black outside with dark smoke out there. On this occasion, do you know, when you opened the front door, before you opened the front door rather, did you see any signs of smoke coming into the flat?
Before I opened the door, I went to the other bedroom, where my wife and my daughter sleeping.
Yep.
And it was the same situation, what was in the middle room. And from that room, I went to the front room.
Okay. And in that, when you moved within the flat, were there any signs of smoke inside
No,
the
it
flat?
wasn't.
No. And when you got to the front door, before you opened the front door, did you see any signs of smoke coming into the
No,
flat?
it wasn't.
Now, in this section, you've then described you've opened the front door and you've seen smoke.
Yes, indeed.
How thick was that smoke that you saw?
It was very thick. It
Do you
was
think-
really.
Could you see, how far through it could you see in front of you?
You cannot see. It's impossible.
Could you see if the light in the communal lobby was on at all?
You can't. I can notice. To be honest, I don't think I noticed any light, but I believe it was like kind of reflection of lighting, but it wasn't darkness. If I put it this way, it wasn't darkness. It was the smoke was make it thick. The way how it's thick, but it wasn't that darkness. But you cannot see. But it could be some lightning, like reflection of light, but I couldn't notice. I couldn't notice.
Just so we're clear, could you said there could be a reflection of a light, but you
Yeah.
couldn't notice. Could you see any light?
No.
Okay. And did this, from the ceiling to the floor, was there, how far down could you see the smoke?
All the way down.
All the way down to the
All
ground?
the way down. All the way down.
Could you see where the smoke was coming from at all?
Not at all.
You've described the smoke as having a strange smell. This is the next line of this paragraph in front of you. It was a strange smell. It was nothing like I'd smelt before. It was a complex smell with a lot of different smells in it, and I cannot describe it. It was confusing. It wasn't the same as a burning smell. Are you able to expand? I can see that you've said that you aren't able to describe it, but are you able to expand at all on what that smell was?
I don't know how to describe it. But I describe it. When we was young, we used to be very naughty, playing around and burning stuff and creating things. And I know what burning things looks like. So to describe this one here, I never seen something like that before. To describe that smoke how it was, I can't describe it because it doesn't. I never see it. I never see it. I never come across to it. It was very strong, very thick.
And when you first looked out into the lobby, did that smoke have any physical effect on you?
Yes, indeed.
What effect was that?
It was the thing was I couldn't hold my breath, and I was very weak. But when I went through that process, it just seems to me like I spent the longest time in my life in that time. That's exactly how I felt. And every time I remember to trigger something in my memory, I always had that feeling like I spent many hours in that building, especially in that moment, because I couldn't see nothing.
Right. But how long do you think you actually spent holding the door open at that time?
I was walking through the smoke. It was slow, carefully. It wasn't a normal walking. You walk carefully. That's how I was walking. Very careful I was walking. That's the way I describe it.
Well, Mr. Atmani, can I take you to, if I can take you back to paragraph 21 of your statement. Sorry, 25 of your statement and 26, that's on page 6. Apologies, that's the next page. You said that you stood there, I was standing there and I was frozen for a little bit, thinking what to do. And I think this is after you've said, actually, that you shut the door again. And you've left, at paragraph 26, you say, I left the flat, I closed the door behind me, and I remember that although it wasn't a particularly conscious decision, and the smoke was heavy, thick, black, the smoke was everywhere. Is that right? So is that the time that you then walked out the flat?
Yes, indeed.
What influenced your decision to leave immediately at this time?
You're talking about the lobby, or talking about the inside before the open the door?
When you're inside the flat, what
inside
influenced
the
your
flat,
decision
before
to
I
then
opened
leave?
the door?
Yes.
Or after I've opened the door?
So
I'm not
I'll
trying to
take it back
confuse you
in
because I'm
stages,
trying to
Mr.
follow
Atmani,
you.
of course.
Sorry. Yeah.
I don't mean to confuse you. I'll take it back in stages. You said you've opened the front door.
Yes, indeed.
You said you're standing there, frozen for a little bit, thinking what to do.
Yeah.
And then you've decided, take you back to paragraph 25, you said there's a cupboard in the hallway and you put on jeans, your tracksuit bottoms.
Yeah.
And so you got dressed.
Yes, indeed.
And you said, other than what I was wearing, I did not take anything from the flat. I could not think what to do exactly. I thought to myself, either you leave or you stay. I thought if I stayed, I would die. It did not occur to me to use the phone or to stay put. None of this came to my mind. My instinct was to go.
Yes, indeed.
My question to you is, what influenced you then decide to leave the flat?
My mind, it was completely stopped. My brain, my thought, it was like, you don't know what to do. At the moment, I don't know what to do. Nothing else come in my thought. Nothing else nothing all this what we have in now, policies or regulation, nothing in that kind of this stuff in my mind. I never met him before. That moment, what I saw when I closed the door back, in that moment, particular moment, I was standing there talking. All my life when I get panic, I talk. I talk to myself loudly. Not inside, it's loudly. What to do? Should I go? Should I stay? That's what I do when I get panic. But in that moment, nothing comes like planning or look at things like many people may be different than me. But me in that moment, I was completely lost. I was completely lost. The only solution I have to take is to get out. That's the only solution. I didn't talk about phones, or I know my daughter and my wife, they're out. That's the most important part for me. They're not there. My daughter, she's not seeing that smoke. She knows she's not going through what I'm going through. My wife, she's not there. That's the most important part for me. But for myself, when I panic, I always get stuck. I always get stuck.
But on that occasion, you didn't stay in the flat, is that right?
No, I didn't.
Okay, and you left the flat straight away.
Yes, indeed.
So between waking up and leaving the flat, how much time do you think had passed altogether?
As I said to you, it seems to me, my feeling, I've been hours there. That's how I felt. Even when I was sleeping, I felt like I slept long hours. And given when I was going out, it's that deep feeling like you've been so long here. And if I give you the average of the timing, I would say about 10 minutes, maybe 10, 5. But I can't give you the correct, just estimation of the timing. But the time I went to the living room and come back to the room, I don't know where I was. I was very ill, I was very weak. My thought did not clear. But the only that hit me a lot is when I looked at the window, and the second part is when I opened the door. When I opened the door, that part which make me lost, make me like, no way, it's no way. I never thought about that, I never. And to be honest with you, I never lived in high-rise towers all my life, even with my own families. We're always keeping ourselves ground. But I never thought it's going to be like that.
Right. Take you back to the lobby on this night. You said that you stepped out into the communal lobby then, and it's still full of smoke, is that right?
Yes.
Yes. At that time, could you hear any sounds?
Not at all.
And how did you find your way to the stairs?
You want me to describe the walking out?
Yes,
Okay,
please.
sure. When I was walking, I used my hand. And before the smoke, before the fire, I know where is the stairways, I know where is the lift, I know where is the neighbor. So with me, I know where I'm going. So even if I was blind, I know where I'm going. So I just used my hand just in case if I get something in my way, to touch something in my way. So I using my hand that way. I was walking, I don't know where I'm going, but in my mind I know where's the door. So just walking, I thought if I go wrong, well, I would find the exit door. So that's exactly what happened. I found the exit door and then I pushed it.
So was the exit door shut when you reached it?
It was shut, yes.
And when you pushed it open, was it more difficult to open than usual?
It was quite heavy. It's a heavy door because I used it many times before.
Is it normally a heavy door?
A heavy door.
And was the smoke the same consistency throughout the communal lobby when you left?
Out of the stairways?
No, inside the communal lobby, when you went from your flat door to the stairwell door, was the smoke the same the whole way through?
The same, yes.
And when you reached the stairwell door, you said you've pushed it open. What were the conditions like in the stairs at that time?
Much better.
Much better?
Much better. Much better.
Was there any smoke in the stairs?
It wasn't that smoke. If you allow me to describe it, just to.
Yes, please.
It's like because I do. Oh my God, I can't describe that. It's like. It's like foggy, not foggy. It's like smoke. It wasn't that heavy. It was like flowing around, but it wasn't that heavy. It's not affected smoke. That's how I describe it.
This is the smoke in the stairwell?
That's the stairwells, yeah.
And what colour was that smoke?
It was white. It was white.
Now, for the record, you made a gesture circling your hand above your head.
Yeah.
Was the smoke high up?
Yes, high up, yeah.
And was that near the ceiling of the stairs?
I can't remember, but it's quite high. It's quite high. It's not like everywhere, but you can see the smoke. You can see the smoke.
Or was it spread out evenly within the stairs, or was it collecting in one particular area of the stairs?
Where you go, when I started to go down bit by bit, the smoke it was a little bit more. It was a bit more than up. I don't know why somehow, but that's what I noticed.
Okay. When did you notice the smoke getting a bit more as you were
When I
downstairs?
was going, I can't remember what exactly the the area, but when I was going down, I noticed.
Right. And as you were going down, did you notice if any of the doors from other lobbies were open?
No, wasn't.
Now, if I can take you to page 7 of your statement, paragraph 30. No, you've said in that statement, as you've just told the inquiry, that the smoke was not quite, this is the 5th line down, the smoke was not quite as thick inside the stairwell, it was not quite so heavy. So taking it to a further line down, you say the stairwell was very hot and smelling of burning, as if plastic was burning. Is that the smell that you could smell then?
Yes, indeed, yeah. It was smelly. Plastic smell. It smelled like a plastic burning. It's true, yeah.
Okay. That's quite a specific description compared
Yes,
to the description of smoke in
Yeah.
the communal lobby.
Yeah,
Did they have a different smell?
definitely. Not the same at all.
And you've described there as well that the stairwell was very hot.
It was hot. I felt hot. That's how I felt it when I went in. It was very warm. Even under my feet, I felt, because I wasn't wearing shoes, I feel that. So that's why I said it.
Right. And was it hot from when you first entered the stairs? Did you feel that same temperature, or that same intensity of the heat?
It was, yes, it was quite safe. It was quite safe. Maybe more, maybe less, but it was quite safe. Not that different, not much.
Now, you've described as you went down the stairs, the smoke got thicker. Did you feel a difference in the temperature?
No, I didn't. It didn't cross my mind. I didn't, because I started getting. I was really exhausted as well, so I wasn't that focused in the details. But I just get the first feeling. But the rest of it, to be honest with you, if you ask me now, if I go back, there's a lot of things. Maybe I didn't see. There's a lot of things maybe I didn't notice. Mm-hmm. But I'm giving you what the first my eyes got into. That's what I can give you.
Okay. Now, you've just told us just now that you started getting, and you didn't quite finish your sentence. Were you
I was very exhausted.
You're feeling exhausted?
Very exhausted, I was. I never forget that. I was very, very exhausted. I couldn't even walk properly. I was like unbalanced, if you want me to describe that. My balance, it wasn't normal. The way I was walking, it wasn't normal at all.
And why was your balance not normal at all?
I was very ill. I was very, very ill. I mean, I was walking like that, going. That's how I was feeling that moment.
Right. Now, did the smoke at any point also have any effect on you as well, or was it only your illness?
To be honest with you, I'm not sure, because the time I was ill, and I think I got already a smoke in my chest, and already I've got illness. So I'm not sure that smoke did affect me more or not. But I was really, really, if I was well and fit, maybe I will tell you different things now. But my illness, I cannot confirm the smoke affected me badly or doesn't, because there is no conclusion on that.
Now, if I could take you to paragraph 32, which is on page 8 of your statement. You say, I got down to the 9th floor where I found a disabled man, Maher Kudair. You described that he was a person that was known to you.
Yes, indeed.
In this paragraph, you've described helping him going down the stairs.
Yes, indeed.
You've just told us just now that you already had difficulty going down the stairs before
indeed.
you met him. Did you have difficulty helping him down the stairs as well?
Very.
And how did you manage to go down the stairs with him?
To be honest with you, if you want me to describe that moment, which was a very difficult moment for me and for him, I found him on the stairs holding the handrail. And he was almost like, hanging. He's not even standing. And I remember I saw it was the clutches in his hand. I couldn't carry him. I couldn't carry him. I just put my hand around him, and then I said to him in Arabic, you want me to describe it to you in Arabic, or I could go in English?
If you can give it in English.
In English?
Yes.
Okay. So I said to him, we're going to go together down. That's the only word it came up from my mind. We went a bit down, we was going down. When we reach, I think, 3rd floor, 2nd floor, I'm not sure. I said to him, I need to get help. So stay here, I'll get somebody for you, and then come back to you. He said, no worries, in Arabic, go. So I went through the stairs to the lobby, and I saw his family down having a conversation with firefighters.
Okay, if I can just take you back a little bit within
Sure.
that account. You've said, firstly, that you've met him at the 9th floor. How did you know it was the 9th floor when you met
I just
him?
mentioned 9th floor because it's the way I was going down.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt like I walked down quite a lot from 15. So it was a coincidence. But I wasn't that sure. I just mentioned 9 because later on I found out Mahe lives in 9th floor. So I thought myself maybe I found him in 9th floor. So I have to mention it to describe where he's. I thought maybe I found him in 9th floor. So I have to describe it as the way how he is.
So it's fair to say that you're not sure of what floor
I wasn't
you
sure.
found him. Okay. And when you were walking down the stairs with him, how exactly did you support each other down the stairs?
I put my hand through. I put my hand under his shoulder, and then I hold him in his left hand, and we went slow, very slow. It was very difficult for him. I was panicking, he was panicking, I was lost. I think he was in his situation. Maybe he could be worse than me. He's got a permanent disability. So me, I've got illness, a temporary one. So maybe he was in a very sensitive situation for him.
Right. Do you remember anyone going past you on the stairs when you were with Mr. Kader?
Sorry, second.
Do you remember anybody overtaking you on the stairs?
I believe there is. Yeah, I believe there is people went through the stairs. Yeah.
How many people do you remember overtaking you?
There is one I will never forget. He went down like a wind, exactly like a wind. I can't describe.
Oh, apologies. Go on.
Yeah, I can't describe him. I haven't. But what I felt like, it even got me a bit in my left side. But it was like a wind. It was powerful run, very powerful run. I was surprised.
Was there anybody else that went past you?
I believe so. I think there is a couple of people. I'm not sure, but I believe there is a couple of people. I wasn't focusing that much on details, but I had a feeling like there is people went down. But I was focusing what in my situation is, and that's the focus. The biggest focus I have is the problem I'm having now, my problem, and his problem. So I wasn't that focused around me. What's going on, really?
Now, you said that you've left him. You've told us that you've left him on the 2nd or 3rd floor, and that's when you went ahead. Just before we come to that point, if I can refer you on page 9 to paragraph 34 of your statement.
Yeah, sure.
You said, when we got to level 4, I noticed the fire door from the stairwell to the lobby was wide open, and that was also the case at levels 3 and 2. And on these 3 floors, 4, 3 and 2, you think, but you're not sure, there was water on the floor. Do you still recall this as the stairwell door being open?
There was, yes.
And did you continue past that door?
Yes, indeed.
And do you remember what was holding that door open?
It was the hose.
It was a hose?
The hoses, yeah.
And do you know how far open that door was?
It was wide open.
Wide open?
Wide open, yeah.
Can you give an indication to
it
the
was
centre's motive?
all the way open.
All the way open?
All the way to the wall.
Okay. And how was the hose holding that door?
It was. I believe, if I'm not going to make a mistake in here, because I believe there is the hose about two, and it was in the middle of between the frame of the door.
So there was two hoses
Yes. Yeah.
side by side
Yeah, yeah.
in the frame of the door
Yes,
and the door.
indeed. Yes, indeed.
Is that right?
Yes, indeed.
And this was on the 4th floor. Did you see any smoke at that floor?
I haven't noticed any. I haven't noticed any smoke. Basically, you just give me that question. I haven't noticed that. I didn't. I don't believe I see any smoke.
Right. And was this the first door to a lobby that you saw open?
The first door to the lobby I saw open.
Now going to the next level, you've mentioned this also at levels 3 and 2. Are you clear in your mind that there was 2 more doors to stairwell open after this 4th floor?
Yeah, it was. I think I found the firefighters. I'm not sure. I found them. I think on 2nd floor. I think it was 3 or 2 firefighters. They were sitting. I think they were sitting on the floor, and I just got past them.
Where exactly did you see these firefighters?
I think it was in
sitting?
3rd floor, if I'm not mistaken, or 4th. I think it was 3rd floor.
3rd floor?
Yeah, I'm not that sure, honestly, to give you that final answer to that, but definitely there was a firefighter there in that place.
And were they sitting in the stairs or in the lobby?
It was on the door was open, and they were sitting by the door, not inside the lobby. Is the hallway, the small one. That's what they were sitting.
Okay, so next to the door?
Yes, indeed.
Now, you said on your statement as well that they had masks on. Is that right?
I think they were masks. If the masks, I think if I'm not mistaken, but I believe so. Yeah, they was wearing a mask.
Did you try to
There was,
speak to
yeah.
them at this time?
No, I didn't.
And did you ask them for help?
No, I didn't.
And do you remember, you've mentioned that you left Mr. Maher Kudair.
Yes, I did.
Was it after this point that you'd seen the firefighters that you left him?
Yeah, I'm not sure if I left him before or he went through with me to through the second or 3rd floor. But I don't think Maher was with me in that moment when there was firefighters in the corridor. I think I left him behind the second part of the stairs, maybe the second part of the stairs. I left him there. But definitely, I'm not sure if he was with me, but I have a feeling he wasn't with me at that moment.
Okay.
That's what I want to try to say. Yeah, I have a feeling he wasn't that moment, he wasn't with me.
And did you find anybody to help Mr. Kudair down the
Yes,
stairs?
I did. Yes.
Where did you find people to help?
When I went out, I had you know the inside, the balcony, the inside. I had conversations and voices. So I looked at when I saw a lot of firefighters in the lobby. So I went down. When I went down, I heard the woman. She was talking in Arabic, and she was saying, "Can I say it in Arabic? Is you okay with it?"
Oh, you can if you want to also say it in English for
Yeah, of
the
course.
inquiry.
Yeah. What she was saying, زوجي فوق, زوجي مريض, زوجي معوق. طلعوا جيبوا زوجي. That's the word she was saying to my husband is disabled, is upstairs, is disabled. Please God bring him. I think that's the word she used, if I'm not mistaken. And she was keeping talking in Arabic. And then when I saw them having a conversation, I said to her in Arabic, don't worry, your husband he was with me, we come down together. And he's not far. You want me to keep going?
If I can pause you there,
Yeah,
Mr.
sure.
Atmani. If we can be shown the CCTV still, INQ 50485. Now, this is a picture, CCTV still taken from Grenfell Tower's lobby. It's at 1:35:09. It was taken on the 14th of June. Can you identify, there's a number of firefighters that we can see there and some people that are not firefighters. Can you identify any of the people that are not firefighters in that picture?
In that moment, I couldn't see his daughter. Until now, how come I can't remember his daughter, but I only remember his wife.
Okay.
But definitely his wife, she was there. But I never thought I forget his daughter. I never noticed her. She was standing by the firefighters.
Mr. Atmani, just to pause you there
Yeah,
as
sure.
well. As a matter of record,
Yeah, sure.
can you identify the other person, the man that's not a firefighter in that picture?
That's me.
That's yourself?
That's me, yeah.
Okay. And
Yeah, sure.
just for the record, can you describe where you're standing within this picture?
I was standing by the door and giving them information on where is Maher and where I left him, and the state is what Maher is, his disability, and I explained to them where he is and why I left him, but I didn't give them 100% spot why I left him. I told them maybe the second or third floor, but he's definitely over there. Please, can you get him down? And I said to his wife, don't worry, he's just here. It's not far from.
So is this where you remember? Is this where this conversation's taken
Yes,
place?
indeed.
You told him.
Yes, indeed. But I cannot see it. Just I don't want to. I cannot see his wife in this picture. I see only the girl.
The girl.
Yeah.
Just to confirm, is Mr. Kader's daughter, that you're referring to the daughter, is she the person wearing grey in the picture?
Yes, indeed.
Okay. Now, if I could just... After this conversation, is it correct that you left the tower?
Yes, I did.
And is it there that you met your wife Rashida Ali outside the tower? Is that
Outside the tower, yeah.
right? Okay. Now, Mr. Atmani, I don't have any further questions for you at this moment. But if we may have a few minutes, I believe there
Yes, of
might be
course.
further questions from others.
Yes. Well, it may be that after reflection there might be one or two more questions. Sure. So we'll have a 5-minute break now.
Sure.
I have to ask you please not to talk to anyone about your evidence while you're out of the room. And if you'd like to go with the usher, she'll look after you, and we'll come back at 4 o'clock, see whether there's any more to ask you.
Thank you.
All right? Thank you very much. Good. 4 o'clock, please. Well, now, one or two questions?
Two more questions.
All right. Well, let's ask Mr. Atmani to come back in.
Thank you.
Yes, I think a couple of questions anyway. Yes, off you go.
So just a few brief questions, Mr. Atmani. If you can first be shown INQ 50481.
Sure.
Now, to explain, this is a CCTV still with an adjusted time of 1:34:22 on the 14th of June. Now, the person that's shown in the picture, you can't see their head, unfortunately, but do you recognise the clothing of the person that's shown in the picture?
I haven't seen this picture before, and I was quite surprised. I was really shocked, honestly, and I thought to myself, how come I forget that moment? I found a lady by the door when I was getting out from the stairs, and she was I think a little bit wet. It was water in her face, and she was shaking, and she saw me. The amazing thing about this moment, when she saw me, I was out like walking like that, and she grabbed me in a way, and I hold her as well in a way, like she was worried, but she was worried more for me. That's why when I saw that picture, and in my statement, I didn't mention that, and I totally forget that moment. That's why I was shocked when I saw it, and I was in tears, because that moment, the lady coming out with me, it was a very important moment. But afterward, when I was thinking and, going through my mind, that moment I was exhausted, and I left a man behind me, thinking how I can get ahead. So I was focusing one thing. My brain capacity doesn't take more than that in that moment. So she walked with me, and then she walked down the stairs with me. It was, I hope I'm gonna meet her in future, because what she did, even if she was panicking, the way how she grabbed me, it was very touching, and it was very, I don't know how to thank her. And going down the stairs, just my head is, get help. That's in my thought.
Thank you, Mr. Atmani. And did you only remember that incident when you saw?
When I saw the
photo?
picture, yeah, when I saw the picture.
If you can also be shown INQ 50482. Sorry, before we actually show INQ 50482, you've given us, I apologise, Mr. Trial Director, if you can go back to INQ 50481. I believe, Mr. Atmani, my question had actually been if you'd recognised the person or the clothing in that picture. Now, I know it's obviously triggered a memory for you, which you've explained for the inquiry today, but just as a matter of record,
Sure.
do you recognise who is the person depicted in that
No.
picture?
No, I don't know who she.
Well, there's two people shown in the picture.
Yeah.
Do you recognise
Oh,
one
that's
of
me.
them?
Yeah,
That's
of course.
you.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah, sorry. It was that question. Sorry, I'm confusing you all the time.
Of course.
Sorry,
no,
yeah.
no, I understand.
Sorry, yeah.
I could have been more specific there, Mr. Armani. So you recognise one of the people in the picture and not the other
Yes,
person?
indeed. Yeah.
And if we can now see INQ 50482. This is a picture taken with an adjusted time of 1:34:24 seconds. This is shortly after the first picture that we've just seen, which was at 1:34:22 seconds. And again, do you recognise the two people in that picture?
Yes, that's what's me on the left and the lady. And if you look at the details, how she was holding me, that's what I was talking before you showed me. This the way how she was holding me going down. And I found her in that door there. And then we went together, and she held me like, it's like, her son or her brother. It's the way how I feel. And it just triggered my memory when I saw the picture. It was quite touching.
But Mr. Atmani, you've just gestured to the screen in front of you. You said you found her at that door there. Do you think you could just show us for the largest,
of course,
for the screen to your left, the larger screen,
Oh,
which
yeah,
we
sure.
can all see?
Of course, yeah.
Where did you first meet her?
This way here, this side.
There.
Yeah.
And how far down did she help you?
All the way down, I believe. And then when we went down, when I saw the firefighter, I just, keep going to the firefighters. And to be honest, in that moment, I don't know what I did. It's like memory lost. I don't know where the lady gone.
You don't know where she went?
I don't know where she went.
Okay.
Maybe she went out. Yeah.
Well, if we can go back to the CCTV still that showed you at the bottom of the tower, if we can go to INQ 486. Now, if we can take, I've shown you this CCTV still, or one that's similar to this one,
Yes.
a little bit earlier, and I'd asked you about the conversation. You described a conversation taking place with Mr. Kader's
Yes,
wife,
indeed.
and then you've also identified his daughter in the CCTV still.
Yes.
We've applied redactions to this photo to protect the identity of a minor child, but when you take it from me that behind the minor child there is Mr. Kader's wife, that you would be able to see the two of them in this still that is unredacted. You've described the conversation with both of them.
Yeah,
at this time.
I believe in that moment. I don't want to disturb. I believe in that moment I was looking at Iman, the wife, which is facing the firefighters. If you see, my face is directed to the girl. But I think his wife, she was standing there. If I'm not mistaken, maybe she was standing there.
Yes, that's correct.
And I was talking to her.
That's correct.
Yeah.
In the unredacted still, you can see there's two people there, and they're obstructed by the redactions in that still.
Yeah.
Grateful. Well, Mr. Armani, I just have one final question for you. You've provided a statement that has been of great assistance to the inquiry, and I'm also grateful for the evidence that you've given today. Is there anything further that you remember about the events of the night, above what has been put in your statement, or that you've described, that you think it's important for the chairman to know?
Just I would like to, I have a speech I've prepared, if Mr. Chairman give me the opportunity to read out.
Yes, you should have a chance to say what you want to.
Thank you.
Not too long.
Not too long. Basically, not too long. I know you know me, I talk too much. But
No, I didn't say that.
I know. So, basically, I've been advised to short it out. So
It's always very good advice to take.
And they told me you have to leave it for. And they told me you have to leave it for phase 2 if they call you back. So I short it out for due respect to you. So I don't want to keep you longer. And if you can give me.
Yes, of course. You say what you want to say.
Mr. Chairman, please give me the opportunity to read my statement without interruption, please. The survivors were not given an opportunity to give evidence at the memorial, and I agree with that, as it was for the bereaved to pay tribute to their loved ones. I just want to say some very important things. They have been on my mind and my heart for so long, and these are very serious matters, which have been bothering me every day, and I feel like it. I feel I need to. They need to come out from my chest. Sorry. To my deepest condolences to the families, friends, and neighbors of Grenfell Tower for their losses and sorrow, especially the bereaved who lost their loved ones. For the past 493 days, you have suffered the most unmanageable pain and spent many days and nights in tears, and we will never understand your losses. Before the tragic fire, we were happy families in comfortable homes with a living community. We were self-sufficient and independent. We lived our lives as a community, despite having a difficult local authority, RBKC. It was a quiet life with peace and privacy, and we taught safety. Individually, we dreamed and had aspirations. Individually and together, we worked hard and were integrated and established in our community. We aimed high, and when we got there, we aimed even higher. Our survival instincts kicked in through our concerns for our families, friends, and neighbors. We were left to our own devices. We were abandoned by those we paid taxes to those we trusted and appointed to positions of power and influences. We were betrayed and humiliated, left to watch our families, friends, and neighbors perish. TMO failed to turn up and take part in the emergency response, just like Kensington and Chelsea Council. Instead, the community stepped in. It was and still is the generosity of the British public that helped and still helping Grenfell victims and bereaved. Our local authorities have let us down. The helmet of LFB were brave men and women who risked their own lives to save ours. The suits of the LFB let us down. They with RBKC did not even consider how the new flammable cladding would impact on our safety. RBKC left Grenfell Tower victim down in more ways than you can imagine. RBKC committed gross negligence before, during, and after Grenfell Tower tragedy. We are still awaiting justice. It should not take a serious fire in which many are killed before all reasonable steps are taken to minimize the risk. Six people died in Lucknow House in 2009, and the government failed to act and make changes to regulations, and that will have stopped a fire like that from happening again. Tonight, we know people are going to sleep in homes with dangerous cladding on them. The refurbishment turned our home into a death trap. We know now that the contractor put profit before lives. It's an industry that's broken and acting criminally. It's vital the police investigation and the public inquiry uncover everything that led to killing of so many, and now the government should actually act so that this never happen again. One important point: policies, building regulations, and fire safety regulations all need to be reviewed. Landlord property rights have been safeguarded at the expenses of the tenants' lives. That has got to change. I repeat, that has got to change. We will suffer great losses as a tenant because of the policies building regulations and fire safety policies which have been downgraded over many years. We are still waiting for justice for the 72 dead. Victims and their families, while those responsible have changed department and titles, but they are still the same individual responsible for the tragedy, with the same level of control and position of power. We want this inquiry to focus on building our confidence. We want to know more about the plan, and we want to be consulted before decisions are made. We want to be at the heart of this process. That is where we belong. Justice will be served sooner or later one day. Thank you very much, Mr. Thank you.
Well, Mr. Atmani, thank you very much for playing your part in the process by coming to give us your evidence. I'm sure I don't need to explain how important it is that we learn about what was going on in the building at different times. And you've had a terrible experience, although I think you ought to be congratulated in the course of your own escape for stopping to help someone else who was less fortunate than you, perhaps.
Thank you.
Anyway, we are very grateful to you. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, sir.
All right? Thank you. Would you like to go with the usher now? Then she'll look after you.
Now, Mr. Chairman, those are our witnesses for today. Our next witness is listed for Tuesday, tomorrow morning at
Yes,
10 a.m.
thank you very much. I mean, we were going to read some statements, but the time is against us on that, I think.
It is indeed.
Yes, all right. So we'll break now and resume tomorrow at 10 o'clock.
Very
Yes?
pleased.
Thank you very much.